And I mean, speaking of this next one, I think that this person keeps giving everybody headlines to talk about, and that is Mr. Ye, Kanye West. This guy, let me tell you, Donald Trump, former President Donald Trump, even said that, like, this is too crazy for him. That's kind of when you know there's an issue. And he also said that he hopes he gets the help that he needs. So, I mean,
wow,
there's a lot of people that you would normally not hear discuss Kanye West that are discussing Kanye West. This latest one, let me pull this up real quick. And this one I thought was just completely insane. So we obviously know the story with George Floyd from a few years ago. Or actually, I don't even know when exactly it was, but it's still recent. With the police brutality and things like that.
it was in
George
2020.
Floyd's
Yeah.
daughter is she has announced that she's issuing a lawsuit to Kanye West. She sent him a cease and desist for $250 million because he made allegations that basically the cops didn't kill George Floyd in an interview. I mean, this is the same guy that's going around wearing a shirt that says White Lives Matter. So nobody really understands what's going on with Kanye. What are your thoughts on this and George Floyd's daughter? I mean,
This is like, yeah, this is disrespectful, and she should sue. Honestly, she should. What the George Floyd death caused in this country, it was like insane. I still remember seeing all of the clips, all the like people, the protests that were going on, and that video of what happened to him. I have never been able to get it like out of my brain, right? And for him to just just don't say anything at this point. I also feel like it's sad because you almost have to cover it, but I also feel like people like that, you have to stop giving him attention. I don't know if you saw, but I did see this morning another headline that he had 4 concerts lined up in SoFi Stadium in LA, and they were canceled by the owners of the stadium because of all the stuff that he's been doing as of recently. And I can't blame them. Why would you want to host or do or have anything to do with him? He's just slowly killing his career, and he's getting to the point where people, I have gone to, I think it's probably like 4 or 5 Kanye West concerts.
I remember you told me that last week.
Yeah, and it's coming to the point where people that enjoy his music, we can't even defend him. I don't know about him as a person. I'm just telling you as a performer. I think he's very smart. His concerts are an experience, but you can't even defend him at this point anymore. It's like, what is there to say? Well, somebody mentions Kanye, you can't even say out loud, yeah, I like him, because you just look ridiculous. I don't know what's going on with him, but it just sounds like, I don't know, does he need some kind of help? Because these allegations about George Floyd are just, it's not even the most outrageous thing he said in the last 2 weeks. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. He, and for those of you who are watching and listening and may not know what really we're talking about, Kanye West was on Drink Champs podcast and basically claimed that George Floyd didn't die from the cop's knee, suffocating him, but more so of it being a fentanyl overdose and pre-existing conditions. I mean, how do you even get to the point of having this conversation? I mean, I don't understand it. Kanye, there was a point where like Kanye's, let's call it nonsense. People tried to find the fine line between his nonsense and his creative ability, where, we don't have to agree with his personal beliefs, but his music is great and I'll attend a concert. I think that is completely out the door at this point, because if you think about it now, he's basically rallying different people to come out of the woodwork, people who think like this. He's made comments about Jewish people. He's made comments about George Floyd now. He's made comments about a lot of other groups. And this is going to start to bring those people out again, maybe even to his concerts, where it almost becomes problematic and just uncomfortable. I think he's just
It
on a
is. It's
completely
even
downward spiral.
uncomfortable to like talk about him at this point.
Yeah.
It's and again, like I said, we talked about it. I told you like how many
Yeah.
concerts I've been to. Like I enjoyed his music at one point, but he's becoming such a weird person, like talking all this nonsense that even the amazing work that he did musically can't even excuse his behavior at this point, right? Like you come to certain points where you're just like, yeah, okay, but I can differentiate the person from the music that I enjoy.
Yep.
No, at this point, even maybe one of his song hits, and the first thing that you think about is how crazy this man is at this point. And that's the thing. Kanye has also been very open about his mental health.
Yeah.
So if this is an episode or something that he's going through, I hope somebody like forces him to get help. I don't know. At this point, I feel like he's surrounding himself with people that won't make him do that, because that's the only way to explain how you keep getting away from saying these things and doing these things, right? Like
Yeah.
surrounding yourself by a one yes man, and not people that are going to admit that something is wrong with him and make me help him get the help that he needs. I don't know, but he's very open about having a lot of mental health issues too. But I don't know that you can use mental health as an excuse for some of the stuff that he's saying right now.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line between mental health issues and personal beliefs. And we're seeing that happen now where like he's he's not making like decisions, he's not saying things that come from issues with mental health. He's saying things that come from like personal beliefs. He's attacking Jewish people. He's attacking the way someone was murdered. I mean, these are just not. I don't think it has to do anything with mental. I mean, there probably is some sort of correlation with mental health where, you know, he is like there's different things in his brain that are stressed, and he's making irrational decisions, which is leading him to say, I'm not a doctor. I don't know exactly. I know that I've had my fair share with mental health struggles, and I've never even like contemplated different thoughts and different like ideas, such as what he's been, making apparent. So there's a fine line somewhere.
Exactly.
And I think someone who's close.
Everybody's mental health struggle is so different that it's hard
Yeah.
to judge, what other people go through. Like you said, I've gone through my own too, and I handle it a certain kind of way. It's just that the things that he's saying and the way that he's acting is not a
Yep.
way that anytime that I mean, my experiences are more in the anxiety and depression aspect of things, and it's just not a way that I've never felt like exploding. And you know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
don't know, but everybody it's such a case. I always believe, like, I get that there's like a diagnosis, right, for people and what they have, but I do think that mental health is almost on a person to person situation, because I've heard
Exactly.
people deal with the same things that handle it completely different than the way that I handle it, so it's I just know that I never felt like saying crazy things, and God knows I'm all in for conspiracy theories, and I watch ridiculous videos on YouTube, and half of the time I finish watching it and I know everything that I just wasted 10 minutes, right, when I watch like a conspiracy video, because there were conspiracy videos out there, sadly, and I think YouTube flagged a lot of them about the George Floyd death. And
Yeah.
there was like, I remember when that first came out, there was a lot of people trying to debunk a lot of things that it just didn't make any sense what they were
Yeah.
saying. But at the same time, it's like there's nothing else that needs to be said. There's a video, you saw it. Whatever he was doing, whatever he was struggling with, any pre-existing health conditions have nothing to do with the fact that this man need him until he couldn't breathe anymore, and that's what happened. It's out there for everybody, sadly, to see.
And I think the underlining thing here is, if you look back to 2008 when he had that all that drama with Taylor Swift, that was him lashing out and doing all this stuff that he does now. But mental health wasn't as talked about then as it is now. So I think that's why it's being used more as like a reason for what he's doing. But if you look back, I mean, even just to 2008 and probably even before that, he's been doing things like this.
I go back to
Forever.
2005 when he was on that Hurricane Katrina. Remember the television thing that they did, and he
Yeah.
started talking about how the president didn't care about the black race, like on live television. Like I think this man has been on this pattern. He's just like
Yeah.
becoming more comfortable with the things that he says.
Yeah. I think that he's used to the idea of disrupting things and being controversial, and that giving him the attention, and with his own ego thinking that he's a creative genius because everyone's been telling him that. And he is. He's one of the biggest geniuses of our generation. But I think that now the ego is the issue, and it allows him to think he can say and do whatever he wants. Hence why we're having what's happening now.
But it makes it very hard. I told you I enjoy his music and I have a hard time playing it. I have Yeezys, and even them, like, those are statement shoes for most people. I don't even want to wear them at this point because you're supporting and you don't want to support this, you know? And that's just me. My personal opinion is like, I see it and I can no longer, I used to be able to, up till he got so outrageous with the things that he was saying, I used to be able to differentiate, okay, yeah, yay, the person is crazy, but I like the music and the shoes are cute. Right? It's getting to the point where I can't even make the excuse, you know, and it needs to stop. It really needs to stop. And the sad thing is that he keeps getting attention. Look, we're talking about it. Everybody's going to talk about it because you have to at this point. But it's almost like you feel like, what's the better solution? Nobody pays attention. Maybe he'll stop. It's not going to happen. It's Kanye West. Somebody or somebody else is going to cover it no matter what.
Yeah. If he doesn't get the attention that he's used to getting, it gets worse. It's completely insane.
If you want to see all our videos about real news stories that are funny, stupid, or weird, click the subscribe button below. Otherwise, we'll start posting spoilers about your favorite new movies.